All my life I tried to figure out how I could make living flying Super Cubs, and I finally figured it out. Super Cubs becomes a lifestyle if you love them. The hot rod theme is right in line with Dean, Hilde, and I when we were teenagers. So I had to make an airplane that he'd be proud of. My name's Stephen Williams. I'm with Acme Cub Training. This is the latest Cub we built. Just got it done, I think we got 17 hours on it since we built it. I came to Alaska in 1988, wanted to be a bush pilot. When I got to Alaska, I only had one Cub, and I started flight instructing, mainly float ratings, and they needed a wheel Cub, and Cubs were too expensive for me to buy, so I built a 4-car garage on my house, started building Cubs in my house. I built them the way I like them, wanted them light, wanted them powerful, wanted them to land slow. I built stuff that I liked, and I found out everybody else likes the same thing I like. So all my life I tried to figure out how I could make living flying Super Cubs, and I finally figured it out. It just kind of morphed into building Cubs for other people because everybody liked my Cubs. So here I am, this is my game. Okay, we'll talk about the airplane, this airplane I built. I like round tip wings are the easiest, they're the lightest, so that's why I built this airplane with a round tip wing. You'll notice I got pea-stall flaps. When they come down, they're slotted like a otter flap or a beaver flap so that it forces the air over the top. If you notice, they're longer than the aileron. The design for that is to pitch your nose forward when you're going slow, and because the wing has a lower angle of attack, I have more aileron control. I put VGs on most of my airplanes. I like micro VGs the best. If you stall in a skidding turn with a wing like this, with the micro VGs, it can be recovered in a quarter turn almost every time if you're ready for it. Most Cubs with 35-inch tires go 85, 86 miles an hour, and this will do 90 miles an hour and 8.5 gallons an hour. And part of it is how we rig the wings. Lots of people put too much wash in their wings, and we do it exactly like the type certificate data sheet says. We're on the rib outside the aileron. You put a 3/8-inch dowel on a 30-inch span. And so the less wash your airplane has, the more susceptible it is to spin, but it hurts your performance because there's less lift on the tip of your wing. So I've found that if you rig them in accordance with the 3/8 dowel, that they take off shorter, they land shorter, and they cruise faster because your whole wing is the same, close to the same geometric shape. So building your wing is a big difference on performance. So anyway, we talked about the wings. I run 35-inch bush wheels, big tires, makes it easier to land on a runway like this. Right now I'm running 3-inch extended gear, which you need 3-inch extended gear for prop clearance when you're on skis and for angle of attack when you're taking off. Got the suspension system. Bungees are out. In fact, I had bungees this winter, and I was on skis and I hit a ridge and the whole airplane shuddered. And I thought, oh, what was that? And then I remembered I didn't have ASOS's or Black Ops or Airframe's new shock on. It doesn't matter whether you run the ASOS's or the Black Ops, but you gotta have one of the three. They don't rebound when you land. If you would have had smaller tires and bungees, it's very easy to bounce again because the bungees will rebound you. I like an 0360. I'm in the process of changing all my engines out to 0360s. And I like Fens Aviation STC and Rupert's cowling and exhaust system. Fens Aviation holds the STC to put a Lycoming 0360 engine, and it can either be a conical mount or a dynafocal mount. I go with conical because it's lighter. Dynafocals are smoother, so that's a trade-off of whether you want the smoothness. Now the negative about the dynafocal is the engine moves more inside your cowling and it's easy to have stuff chafing and rubbing on things because of the movement of the engine and startup and shutdown. I am running a Sensenich ground adjustable propeller because the only propeller that was legal was the big club. The Sensenich propeller is a 25-pound weight savings. It's got great takeoff performance, great climb performance, and now when I land empty, my CG is not too far forward where it's dangerous. So as we talk about the rubric exhaust, one of the reasons I like it is it's got a 3-inch intake for your cabin heat and your carb heat. So there's lots of heat, and I'm super impressed with that. Flying Super Cubs is becoming a lifestyle basically in my family. My son's my biggest flying companion. He started flying with me everywhere I went when he was 2. I put him in the front seat when he was about 8, and he was young enough that he didn't talk back to me at that time. But now he's a better pilot than me. We challenge each other. We like going on backcountry strips like this, following each other around and raising the bar a little bit every day. Every time we go, we raise the bar a little higher. He used to try to keep up with me. Now I try to keep up with him. The page changed. My daughter, Emily, is now learning to fly. She says she's a civil engineer, and she sits in her office and looks at the sunny days and decided she had to go join us on our flying. She's loving it as much as we do, so we're gonna have to have 3 Cubs on our weekend events now instead of 2. So it's become an everyday event between work and play, and it's just kind of a Super Cubs becomes a lifestyle if you love them. That falls right in line with what I do. I love teaching. I try to pass this passion on to people of all ages. I don't do typical ratings. I teach people off-airport training, bush flying, decision-making skills. Most people can learn stuff about this no matter how experienced pilots there is. There's lots to learn about bush flying and operating airplanes in this environment. So that's my passion, is passing on what I've learned, what I've done all my life. I always put on my airplanes Alaska bush pods or an STC bush pod. They're STC'd, legal on Super Cubs. They're amazing. I had a doggy door, and my next airplane I just started to build, I'm gonna put the cabin off, big door. This one's a minor alteration. It's a fiberglass door frame that I put in with the Dale clamps. I actually welded in tabs maybe on the fuselage, so it's not just a Dale clamp. But it's a minor alteration because none of the tubing in the airplane has been modified. I got 2 baggage doors, which I really like. This airplane does not have Attlee oversized tail feathers. The airplane I started building will have the Attlee oversized tail feathers. I run the airframe's titanium tail spring. STC just came out on their titanium tail spring, and I always run a 2-bolt tail wheel. And the 2 bolts keep it from getting loose and wallering. That's a huge advantage of having a 2-bolt tail wheel. My airplane, we're looking at the paint scheme, and it kind of is very noticeable. And the reason I went with this paint scheme is my friend and I, Dean Hilde, when we were in high school, we built a T-bucket roadster, and it was fast, it would wheelie. We had a blast in our street rod. The hot rod theme of our high school is right in line with Dean Hilde and I when we were teenagers. So I had to make an airplane that he'd be proud of. So we're back to our street rod days when we built a T-bucket roadster, and it just had to match the look in an airplane. So that's where the flames came from. And the reason we put memory on it is he had this airplane down in Idaho, and he had a stall spin incident at a ranch in Idaho. So I built it up, gonna keep it forever in memory of Dean. Okay, now we're talking about the interior of my airplane. All my airplanes have fabric interior. All my trim are titanium trim to save weight. My floorboards are all carbon fiber. If you look at my panel has two GI 275s. It has a Garmin 345 in and out transponder. It has a Garmin GTR 200 radio, which has a monitor and a talk, and it has an amazing intercom in it, so your airplane doesn't need an intercom. I'm now using the bigger 760 GPS because I'm getting old and my eyesight's not as good. The GI 275 on the left is a multifunction display. It has airspeed, has altimeter, has a horizon, and because this airplane has a temperature probe on the other wing, it can calculate true airspeed and wind direction. So on my instrument, I always have a headwind, tailwind, crosswind arrows. So when I come into land, I know how much headwind I have and how much crosswind I have off of the GI 275. We need to talk about my fuel system a little bit. If you go to a 180 horse fuel system, you have to drill your fuel selector valve for both. And you have to put the snorkel gas caps to get the fuel flow needed for a 180 horse. So because I'm going to the snorkel gas caps and because I'm going to a drilled fuel selector valve, all my airplanes have a Cub Crafter's headerless fuel system, but you take out your header tanks, it's placarded, take off and land on both. Now I have another fuel line. When I'm pumping my fuel from my belly tank into my left tank, I want to know when the tank's empty. And so when it starts pumping air bubbles, I know that I can stop pumping, that my belly tank is empty. So that's very difficult to know when it's empty without that. I now buy sport aircraft seats for all my airplanes. It fits me perfect, fits all my clients perfect. His foam that he uses lasts better than any other foam I've sat on. And when you have, Cubs go slow. And if you've got a 4 or 5 hour flight to get to your hunting spot and you're uncomfortable, you don't perform to the best of your ability. So being comfortable all the time, not be wore out, not have to land just because you're sore is a critical thing. I have them in all my airplanes. They're the best bet in a seat. But I've flown Cubs so much that I put the stuff on my airplanes that we need, and I don't put anything on the airplanes that isn't worth the weight. It's like if you write a book, everybody's got all the same words to use. I build certified Cubs. Everything I put on the airplane is either STC'd or it is a minor alteration. Everybody can do it. My Cubs are light because I picked the right pieces to put together. This is the most efficient Cub I've built yet. Airplane just flies straight. They did a good job building this one.